I'm part of D.C. Coalition for Safe and Just Communities, a group of women from D.C., Baltimore, and the wider DMV area. We advocate against laws that make it easier to buy women's bodies, and formed last year to stop the previous version of this bill. For most, prostitution is not a choice, it's a last resort, the culmination of poverty, prior abuse, foster care, homelessness, and coercion. To say someone chose this form of survival is like saying someone chose to jump from the window of a burning building. It targets almost exclusively women and girls of color and other vulnerable populations like LGBT youth. As a lesbian, this deeply concerns me. So many of my sisters have been forced to sell themselves. On that note, I've heard some misrepresented stats today, so just let me clarify. According to data from the FBI, UCLA, GLAAD, and HRC, the average homicide rate for both men and women is 4.9 per 100,000, while the rate for trans-identified individuals is 1.5. However, the homicide rate for prostituted individuals is 204, indicating just how dangerous it is. This violence, sexism, and homophobia cannot be reformed. And if you care about the LGBT community, you know we deserve better options. Again, the mortality rate of prostituted individuals is 40 times higher than the average citizen. The most dangerous job in the world. 9 out of 10 want to escape permanently, and those 9 out of 10 don't have the luxury of being here with us today. This bill is not the answer. Please consider the Nordic Model. Because if this bill passes, here's what will happen. 1, demand will increase. It sends a message that buying girls is okay. Men who were previously afraid will start to buy women, and no supply can fill this demand. To accommodate new Johns, sex trafficking and child prostitution will skyrocket. And with changed attitudes towards degrading females, the entire population of DC girls will experience an increase in assault and rape. 2, STDs and HIV will increase. With increased demand, women must compete with each other to lower their prices. When bargaining power is reduced, physical boundaries are reduced. Under decriminalization, condom use does not increase because Johns demand rougher and more dangerous sex, while workers have to service more customers per day, putting them at greater risk for bodily injury. Pimps take a greater cut of profits and demand more degrading acts to attract customers. 3, as mentioned, police won't be able to help. Under decriminalization, officers who are trying to investigate abuses and trafficking won't know how to discern between legal and illegal activity. 1 in 5 prostituted individuals have been solicited for sex by a cop, and this will only increase. 4, drugs and organized crime will surge. In all places that have decriminalized or legalized prostitution, organized crime has increased, often so extremely that governments have to close their red light districts, which act as criminal hubs. Gangs will work with pimps to bring women and drugs into the country. 5, sex tourism will overrun the city. Rich white men will come from my city, Baltimore, to buy girls from your city. Men will flock from Virginia, Maryland, and all over the world. It's a short road from here to a DC that's congested with brothel-hopping tour buses and billboards of explicit advertisements. And finally, 6, protecting victims will become impossible. The bill redefines prostitution in all its forms as commercial sex, sanitizing its reality while including pimps and Johns under the umbrella of sex workers. How can you prosecute abusers in a court system with terms like this? Under this bill, anything can be exchanged for sex. If a girl's rapist gives her money, she has no case and is seen as a willing participant within a transaction. To summarize, this bill is a pimp's wet dream. It will be the shame of DC. Both sides have asked that women have viable options with access to high-quality, non-judgmental services to help them exit and heal. DC can do better.